Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did.
So give us your thoughts on the game and the whole presentation, if you will.
Well, it kind of went how I thought. I have a buddy who tends to like to sports gamble a little bit, and he asked me what I thought. He liked the Niners. I said, well, I like their team, but I don't like the fact that Patrick Mahomes is on the other team for you. So when the ball ends up in Patrick Mahomes' hand at the end of the game, it usually goes his way. So it kind of went how I thought it might, that the Chiefs would win with Patrick Mahomes carrying. I didn't love all of the shots. Obviously, probably like 99% of the rest of the people watching the game, of the constant showing of the Sweet or Taylor Swift and whoever those other people were. I thought it was a good game. I thought it was fairly boring most of the game, with particularly the first half. But I don't know. I mean, I didn't have really much rooting interest on either side, so I just was kind of watching as a fan, and like I said, found myself fairly bored most of the first half, but it did get interesting at the end.
The gamblers that I know, a couple of them that are contributors to this show, said the same thing. If you could get Mahomes and points, you always do it because they know the metrics to that, and it always turns out to be a winning day for the gambler.
Yeah. My friend probably made the wrong decision, so he didn't have that info that you just put out there. So he's down a little bit of money today, so he's probably feeling a little bit like Cam, probably down a little bit. He probably drank a little too much and ate a little too much as well.
That's right.
Not to divert away from the topic of conversation, but we mentioned Ada, Oklahoma introing you because we were talking about Blake Shelton. When you were playing high school football, did you ever come across Jeremy Shockey and cross paths with him at all, or any like local all-star games or anything?
No, I know that he's from Ada, but I think they're 4 or 5A, and we were 6A, so we never played them. It's quite a ways from here. It's not all that close to here, so never played against him and never really crossed paths with him, but was definitely aware of him and obviously followed his NFL career pretty close as a guy from Oklahoma. But we never crossed paths, and he's kind of disappeared. I wonder what he's up to.
Hey, let me ask you, people kind of chirp a little bit when they watch the national anthem and guys are crying. They kind of don't understand why. But as a player, just for me, I would get really emotional during a national anthem, even if it was a Canadian national anthem, something about it as a player. Did you get like that too?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the part about that is you don't know what the player's thinking. Like, some of them might be very patriotic and surely are grateful for the opportunity that those have come before us have given us to even be able to play and the freedom to play a sport. And so I think that's always tricky because, like I said, you don't know what the players if they're thinking about a loved one. It's kind of a quiet time in your brain right before the big competition and right before, a lot of times it's the peak of your sports career is about to happen, whether, it's the NHL Stanley Cup or the World Series, or in this case, the Super Bowl. There's a lot going through your head as far as, what you're thinking about and who you're thinking about. And sometimes guys are thinking about loved ones or maybe just, the opportunity to play in such a cool event. It is emotional, and it is a time where emotions are running high, and you see a lot of guys that are very emotional. But like I said, you never know if they're actually very patriotic or if they're thinking about other things in a quiet moment before the start of a huge game.
As a former second, third middie on the Nyack High School lacrosse team, I can tell you that nerves do go away once the game starts, but I was never playing at the highest level, say as someone like yourself, outside maybe a quarterfinal game against Sewanaka. But thank you for laughing. But isn't that true? as big of a production as it would be for a Super Bowl or a World Series game. You get introduced, you're standing out there for the national anthem. I'm sure there's a little nervousness, but isn't it true that it does go away once the game starts and you fall into that normal routine?
Yeah, I think you really you just can't wait for the game to get started so that you can sort of play and really the build up and the a lot of times the waiting, at least in the World Series, because a lot of times the games are late. So you spend all day sort of waiting for the game, and that's where a lot of the nerves and some of the anxiousness can really start to, really it takes all day. You're just kind of, everybody's waiting around for the game to start. But, yeah, I mean, I think once you probably in football or hockey, once you get that first hit, or you kind of jars you open a little bit, and you kind of, or in baseball, you get in the box and that first pitch is thrown. You settle into, okay, this is I'm used to this. Like this is what I'm used to, and this is kind of normal activity for me, and you can kind of settle in and then get back to just playing the game and trying to focus on doing what's right in the moment to win the game. And so, yeah, I mean, a lot of the pomp and circumstances is what creates the nerves.
In baseball during the regular season, players go to the ballpark way early. I know they're working on certain things. Maybe there's something to do with the trainers. Are they there too long before the game, in your opinion? Because I know there's days where they go late report day or whatever, but guys still show up early. Do you think if you were a manager, would you have more late report days?
The problem is like at home, you have to, the batting practice schedule is so at a home game, for both teams, you get to take batting practice. The home team usually needs to be on the field by, 4:00. And then, you got guys that like to try to get a workout in before the game instead of after. And then, it becomes just sort of nervous energy and kind of like, you just go there because out of routine, out of, it's just kind of always the way it was when you came up as a rookie. At least for me, it was expected of you to be there at a certain time. Usually by 2:00, you need to be at the field and starting your routine to get ready. I mean, I think it is probably a little bit early. I think the guys get there too early, yes. I mean, the guys that get there around 12:30 or 1, I used to tell Matt Carpenter all the time that he was going to wear down, because he would get there super early. I used to tell him he'd eat all 3 meals at the field, so I think that there is a bit of a kind of that goes way back to, that's just the way it is. Guys get there early. But I think in the past few years, there's been an effort by organizations and by managers to kind of conserve energy and push those start dates back or start times, when guys get there back and encourage guys to maybe hit less on the field when it's really hot and do their routine inside. And so I think there is a movement towards maybe getting the best out of the players in the games and not wasting all of your best energy early on in batting practice or maybe earlier.
I saw that Jazz Chisholm stopped by the barn, all-star second baseman for the Marlins, and I'm like, this is a bit of an unlikely relationship. He started his career after his had already ended, so let me put on my little detective cap here. Did Skip send him your way to iron out some kinks and for you to coach him up a little bit?
Wow, Cole, you Kevin Bacon that, baby.
Yeah, baby.
There we go.
Cole.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're so proud of him. We're so proud of him.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice job. Yeah, you put it together. It was great. He's a great guy. Really enjoyed my time just getting to know him a little bit, and spent some time with he and his brother came with him, and so we spent a lot of time in the cage and talking baseball and really fun to be around. So yeah, Skip it connected us and asked if he could come and hit a little bit and talk baseball, and so it was enjoyable, and really looking forward to seeing what he can do if he can stay healthy and be on the field. He's got incredible talent.
So what are your plans to get to spring training and watch your son? What's on the agenda for that?
We've got a couple days coming up where we're going to go down. He's already down there at sort of a mini camp, and going to get a chance to go down and just kind of see them for a couple days before their games and their heavy practices start up. And then we're going to, on spring break, Ethan has a tournament down in Dallas for a couple days, and then excuse me, we're going to go from Dallas to Sarasota to watch Jackson for 4 or 5 days during spring break when the kids are out of school. So we got a couple trips planned out to Sarasota, and you know, outside of that, you know, there might be some stuff pop up, but so we got a couple trips coming up.
I think a lot of Cardinal fans make the trip to Jupiter, as you well know. They may be listening now. So what are Matt Holliday's favorite places to eat in the Jupiter area during Cardinal spring training, if I may?
Yeah. Well, there's the kind of the classics with Jetties, which is on the water and right by the lighthouse, right by the Jupiter Inlet. That's really good. And there's a couple new places on that little road right there. Where Jetties is, and then you got some places like Leftovers and Food Shack that are kind of a little hole in the wall. They look like hole in the wall, but the food's really, really good. Those are kind of the Jupiter area ones, and then you can go a little further south, down to like Palm Beach Gardens, and there's some good places down there. There's a place called Limoncello, Italian place that's really good. So those are a few of our favorites that when we go down there, we try to make it to.
What about Dune Dogs? You ever been to Dune Dogs?
I have once.
I just can't imagine you
starving.
I can't imagine you standing in the line because there's always a line for that place.
Yeah, there wasn't the night we went. It was after a little kids basketball. This is a long time ago. So I did go once, but. First of all, it's all outside seating, which I don't like to be hot, and then it was mostly the fried food variety. So
right up my alley.
Yeah, it wasn't my cup of tea, but yeah, it's a good place for first timers down in the Jupiter area to go.
Are we going to see a Cardinal spring training? Because I got to say, I know you're Skip's guy and everything, but if you're going to be the swing doctor, maybe pop by and help the Cardinals a little bit for your guy Ollie.
I mean, first of all, I've had Cardinals here, and you know, I don't know if I'll be able to make it to Jupiter.
All right, just checking.
The free time that I have during the spring, I'm probably going to try to spend with my kids. So you know, I'd love to get down there and spend a couple days in the Jupiter area. Obviously, Ollie's one of my close friends, and Nolan and Goldie and all those guys that I'm pretty close with. But like I said, it's you got two little ones in school, and then you know Ethan's playing right in the middle of his season, and obviously a really important spring for Jackson to get an opportunity to try to make the team. So any free time, I'm going to want to be watching one of the kids do their activities.
I understand.
He's busy, baby.
I understand. I'm just Cardinal fans like to see. I know Ollie would.
Does Charlie still do this show?
Sometimes.
Sometimes
he does.
What does that mean? Is he just last couple times is Cole taken over or was Charlie?
Cole took his job.
Cole,
yeah.
I've taken a lot of jobs on this show.
Yes, he has.
Cole has done that. He has.
Yeah.
No, Charlie's still a big part of the show, but because he does other stuff, and he's also like at home with the kids.
Yeah.
He's got to get them to school, so he comes in midway through the show a lot of times. But he'll be a big part of the show when I'm away with the Cardinals, and then he'll be back. So he's still a huge part of the show, just not when you're on it. So you're hearing from Cole.
Next Monday he will, though.
So here's my other. I have another baseball question. Spring training. What are the things you would like to find out about this Cardinal team that can be found out during spring training? Like, you know how guys are going to hold up or everything. What are your questions that can be answered during spring training that you're hoping for some answers?
Well, I think the idea of whether or not Mason Wynn is ready to be a full-on everyday shortstop with the bat. I think he's proved it on defense. I'd be interested to see if he's made some adjustments or what adjustments he's made, and whether you can count on him if you see yourself as a playoff team. having a young, very young guy playing such an important position. So I think that he probably is one thing that I'm interested in, and then I think how you put the bullpen pieces in a you got a 1 or 2 run lead in the 6th or 7th inning. How do you finish a game, and who are the guys that are going to bridge the gap, and is Helsley healthy and closing like he was a couple years ago, and so to me those are the things that the two big ones that really jump off the paper to me. Obviously, you're going to need the older starters to stay healthy. With Lance and Kyle Gibson being a little bit on the older side, you're going to have to manage their workload and hope that they're feeling good and strong. And then obviously with Sonny as your new sort of ace, and then how the rotation kind of falls in behind him. So those are a couple of things. To me, the bullpen is really is going to be the difference maker, and whether or not they have a really, really good season and the kind that wins the division and goes into the playoffs in a good situation. So that would be probably the biggest for me to watch of how they implement some of the new guys and what the bullpen's going to look like.
Did you enjoy playing for Clint Hurdle in Colorado?
Yeah. Clint and I are close friends. I still talk to him here and there and see him out and around. He was involved with Perfect Game quite a bit, and so I would see him at Perfect Game events, and now he's back with the Rockies in some capacity, and he's doing some other stuff. So he's still very active in the baseball world, and our paths cross, quite often.
Well, Matt, we appreciate you spending a little time
Matty.
with us. I think next week I'm not here on Monday, so it should be better line of questioning.
Way better line.
Yeah, better line of questioning.
Boy, Cam, you're hurting. Yeah,
I'm hurting.
Questions from Cam. Yeah,
Dude, I'm hurting today, man. Yeah, and don't feel sorry for me. It's all self-induced.
What was the food choice?
Well,
did you fall off the wagon on the diet, or what?
Yeah, no, we did. It was one of those days. Saturday was all day Mardi Gras stuff, and then you don't eat all day, and then you get. I think I had McDonald's like 2 days in a row, which is god awful.
Oh, wow.
And then and then the Sunday started early with the Bloody Marys, and then we had pizza. I mean, just crap, and it's sitting in my gut. But Mondays are the long days too, so you just got to suck it up, Maddie. You know how that is.
You look great, though.
Yeah,
you look great.
See, I feel like I feel like I don't know, Maddie. We appreciate it, bud. We'll touch base next week.
Okay, guys.
See you, man.
buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
He's a delight.
He's awesome.
Matt Holliday.
He's got a lot going on, man.
Cardinals Hall of Famer.
Imagine how fun that must be to follow your kid around. They dominate. They're good kids. You go to Florida. You go to Texas. I mean, pretty cool.
But let's be honest, though. When the Cardinals play the Marlins, I don't want a guy that was able to benefit from the tutelage of Matt Holliday suddenly destroying the Cardinals.
That's right.
Unbelievable.
That's right, baby. That's right.
Jazz Chisholm, if he goes out there and hits 3 home runs against the Cardinals, well, you know who coached him.
Exactly. So the player crying during the anthem, when would Usher remove his shirt on stage, were both prop bets. That's awesome. Yeah, he did take his shirt off, didn't he? He looked cut up. Usher looked. I give him credit, man. I'm sorry.
How old's he?
Mid-40s, I think.
Look good.
Yeah. He looked damn good. No, he's 45.
He was all over the place, too. I mean, all the changes, all the different types of music.
On roller
outfits.
skates.
I didn't have the roller skates on my bingo card.
No.
The roller skates, which are so difficult to move around on. And that's me saying that. I can't believe no one ran into each other.
He was rolling around. He was stationary and kind of like
Then he got a little,
jumping up on him.
He got a little freaky, kind of just
Alicia
like
Keys,
Alicia Keys,
touchy-feely. But you said you were cool with that because he was acting.
It's acting.
It's a performance.
It's a performance.
He's an actor.
Now, if they're doing that backstage and somebody's filming it,
That's a little bit of a
a
problem.
different. Yeah.
I just can't. We talked about earlier how much time, not just for him to rehearse, but I mean,
Months.
they had the choreography with the band in front of the stage. Like every single move was diagrammed down to the smallest detail. That seems like that's something that takes a year unto itself for what, a 12-minute, 15-minute halftime performance.
And there was nothing bizarro about it. Like, remember when Rihanna came out? She had that, like, weird outfit on and that weird thing going on, right? And then, like, The Weeknd came out, and those guys are, like, wearing diapers.
And he was in, like, a maze and, like, couldn't find his way out.
Yeah, that was really weird. But Usher just kind of...
Katy Perry.
What'd she do?
Just, like, goofy co-stars up there. I was like, the Sharks were being goofy. And did she ride in on something?
I remember Lady Gaga.
Some giant mechanical elephant or something.
I remember Lady Gaga having an unbelievable performance one time.
Yeah.
She jumped out of the top part and, like, flew all the way down and did her thing. She's good, dude. Lady Gaga she's awesome.
And she's also a really good singer.
She's damn good.
And plays the piano.
She's damn good. And she's
I'm a
different
fan.
than Taylor Swift. Like, she's got a little weird, crazy thing to her, right? Like, her music videos are crazy. She doesn't sing about, sings about, like, kind of like hardcore stuff. Like, not just lovey stuff, but like, you ate my heart and I ate your, like, crazy stuff. Like, she's just unique in my opinion. Lady Gaga. She came to town, I'd see her again. I would.
Wicked talented.
She is badass.
I don't even know, like, I'm not a Swiftie, so I don't know Taylor Swift's music, but it's pretty well received across the board, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yes, Jimmy. She's about as good as you can get.
Teen rock or anything like
It's
that.
a little bit of
beyond
everything.
that.
Yeah, she's a
All
little
right, good for
country
her.
too, a little pop to her, a little this, a little that.
She's got a little bit of an edge to her.
She started to get a little sexy.
Yeah.
Now she's getting a little sexy.
Past 5 years, she started like cussing in songs.
Little
and
sex. She's got a little sex appeal to her, and that just takes her to a different level. I told you, Kate's like, look at her performance. I never knew it. I thought
now you like her
badass
because you're a progressive and you understand that she's going to help Biden get reelected.
This is all about the Biden administration.
I mean, yeah, we all knew she liked Biden. Like, that's well known. We all know she's,
We don't
liberal.
we don't know that
Cares?
she likes Biden, but we can assume that she doesn't like the opposition, and so
I guarantee she'll vote for Biden.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, but
if I had a bet on it, there's a prop bet for that.